Hey, good evening, guys. Welcome to A Strange and Mysterious World. This is going to be our final episode for 2025. So, what you're about to see is a pre recorded episode that we took a few weeks ago. We unfortunately couldn't air it at the time because we were quite busy with interviewing guests for the show. So, this will be the last episode for 2025, and we'll be seeing you guys in 2026. So, from William and myself, we want to really wish you guys a very Merry Christmas and a fantastic and prosperous 2026. Yeah, well,
Yeah, all the best. Hope it's a cracker.
have a good Christmas, buddy. And I hope you guys going to join us in 2026. We'll be back probably around about the 6th of January with probably our prophecies for 2026. We'll start off with the prophecies, and then we've got a great guest the week thereafter coming to you, and then yeah, that's it, man.
Okay, well, enjoy this
Awesome.
one. All right.
Have
Bye,
a good
guys.
one. Cheers, guys.
Yes.
Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe, follow us, and go check Will's
Oh, yes, go check out Elisa's TV. We've got documentaries on spiritual awakening,
yeah.
mystery schools, UFOs, mermaids, all sorts of cool stuff there. So, and they're full-length documentaries. So please go check out that at elisastv.com.
Yep. Awesome.
You're going to put the link in
Enjoy the episode, guys.
Okay. Link in the bottom. Don't forget the link. Okay. For Elisa's TV.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers. Tonight we got to change it a little bit. We're going to be chatting to Will about his retreat that he went on not too long ago, probably about a week ago. He got back. It was a meditation / fast for 10 days. Fuck, that's a long time, dude. So tell me what happened. How did it go? I mean, obviously, do you have to prepare beforehand, or is it like you just go and do?
Well, I mean, this is the second time I've done it. It's the Vipassana meditation course. It's a 10-day course. I'm sure people, I mean, like, it's quite a popular thing. But it's this guy that brought it from, I think, Burma. It was the original where Gautama the Buddha, because Buddha means enlightened person. I mean, because, you know, Jesus was a Buddha, Muhammad was a Buddha, it just means a Buddha. And Buddha himself, Gautama, said that there's thousands of Buddhas before me and there'll be thousands of Buddhas after me. It just means enlightened person. So Gautama, the Buddha, when he became enlightened, he sat underneath the Bodhi tree and he was studying many of the kind of esoteric teachings at the time. But nothing was really clicking. And he was getting frustrated, and he just said, "Okay, fine. I'm just going to sit under this tree, and I'm just going to sit here until I become enlightened." So he just sat there, and he didn't move, and he just did this what's now called Vipassana. Oh, geez, because there's so many, every tradition of Vipassana means like so many different things. It means like truth, and there's so many different versions. But what he was teaching Vipassana was you do like a body scan. You sense in your body, like everything. You start off in your head and you move down and you start finding like just sensing like everything in your body, and then you kind of the whole philosophy of is that you mustn't get any attachment to it, because the main thing that Buddha was teaching was he was teaching sila, which means morality, then samadhi, which means like mastering your mind, and panya, which means purifying your mind. And that this meditation is supposed to focus your mind, like what's it called, master your mind, and also to purify your mind. So I mean, sorry, I could get into all of the technical things, but whatever. But the first time I did it, right, look, I'm so happy I did it the second time, because the first time I kind of missed the whole point of it.
Okay.
Like Because
Well, what were
it's
you
so funny.
expecting the first time you did it?
I came out of the first time I did it. Look, because it's for 10 days. You can't talk to anybody for 10 days, and you sit and you meditate for 10 hours a day.
Really?
But yeah. Well, the thing is, there's obviously lunch break, a breakfast break. You wake up at 4 in the morning. They wake up at 4. You start meditating at 4:30. But the thing is, there's a schedule. So there's 3 hours that you have to do in the meditation hall, and then the rest of the time you're supposed to meditate in your room or in the hall. And then there's like a Discord in the evening where they give like a whole philosophy of what you're there doing and what the whole point of this meditation and the whole teaching of the meditation, how to do it. So the thing is, the first time I went there, I was like so gung ho. I was like, I'm 10 hours a day, 10 days. I went in like so determined, you know. So I was gonna sit on that mat in the hall. I wasn't even gonna meditate in my room, in the hall, and I was gonna go for it. And also, I was used to meditating cross-legged. I could sit for an hour comfortably, you know, like cross-legged. And geez, I was broken. Like my legs and my back. I mean, from like on day 3, I just couldn't take the pain anymore. But I was just pushing through, and I was like, no, I'm determined. So, I mean, if anybody wants to prepare for this thing, like make sure firstly you can sit cross-legged for an hour. Yeah. And then secondly, bring a chair. So you can meditate in your room in a chair. Because
so hold on. So the rooms that you're in, are they like cabins, like log cabins?
Yeah. You get your own like little like a room, and you got your own bathroom, which is really nice. Okay. But I mean, the thing is, because it's Sila, like it's based off the whole Buddhist philosophy of like morality or whatever. So they actually don't ask you to pay anything. They say you can make a donation at the end if you want, but it does cost 3,500. Like that's the actual cost of a person to stay there, because they feed you, there's electricity, there whatever, but they don't even put in the maintenance cost in that. I said to them, why don't you just up that rate? Because I saw everybody, like when they start giving their donations at the end, some people don't, but people that do, they just give that 3,500 because they're just paying for. But they like that goes against the whole sila, the morality, because we can't just lie about stuff. That's actually how much it costs, and we don't put the charge of the wear and tear or whatever on. Yeah, so you get your own cabin. It's a beautiful environment. They take your phone away. You don't have a phone for 10 days. That's the best part about it, even though it was so stressful in the beginning, but it was so amazing. Oh my gosh, you don't understand how flipping amazing it was. But anyway, so to not have your phone, and also to not talk to anybody. But it is a bit awkward when you're on the pathways and you're like passing people, and you're like, you know, and you're in the kitchen, and like you take some food, like you're trying to take some food and someone else is trying to take that piece, and then you're like, you can't say like sorry, or like can I just have that one? Like, so it's very awkward sometimes. Yeah, but anyway, because the first time I was so like I was so dedicated, and also, but I was chasing an experience. Like I thought, if I went there for 10 days, 10 hours a day, I'm gonna like, my third eye's gonna explode, Kundalini, fireworks. I'm gonna see Jesus. I'm gonna like fucking Buddha's gonna come down, and like I'm gonna explode in body orgasms or something. You know, like I was chasing something, and that's also like my whole spiritual journey as well has been like I've been chasing all these experiences the whole time. You know, because of that one experience I had 5 years ago. It was, you know, from meditation, and then like I've been chasing it ever since, and I can never get it back. And then everyone says, "Oh, because you're trying too hard," and that, so like, and then the second time I went, I realized like, geez, I've been missing the whole plot this whole time. It was like I awoken from my awakening, you know, like I realized like what the whole spiritual journey, what we should actually be striving for, you know. And not to like be like talking to the aliens and seeing the angels and getting downloads and seeing a spirit guide and getting this information and seeing auras and chasing this thing and having a psychic experience and doing astral travels and, you know, and like doing remote viewing. Although those things are fun, you know, like I am still gonna like pursue those things because I think it's fun, but it must be like more of a hobby now and not an obsession. But the thing is that what Buddha was trying to teach originally was just to come out of your misery. So he gave this Vipassana meditation, so people could like come out of their misery. So they wouldn't be attached to things that make them like long for things that make them miserable, and also like things that are like painful or whatever, that you don't get so affected by. So this meditations is supposed to like
clear your mind.
not to make you so like, it's not because when I say that, it makes it sound like you get like so numb you don't actually, nothing affects you. It's supposed to, once you find that middle ground of like separating yourself from the illusion of, you know, of like the need to want these things, to have these things, or like or like, you know, or when you're feeling like anger or sad or whatever, to know exactly where that's coming from, what it is in your body, and like, and not to be affected by it. And that's just supposed to, once you realize this, you're supposed to come out with this extreme compassion and love for everything in your life and everyone and yourself. So it's supposed to be the ultimate like antidepressant fucking pill. You know? And also the thing is anti-anxiety, anti-depression thing. And the thing is, it's also supposed to like clear you of your karma so that you don't reincarnate again. So, you know, on the show, like I always say, like I never want to come back again. When I found out about reincarnation, I was so upset. I was so angry because like I just never wanted to come back. I actually was thinking like, oh, it'll be so great if World War III did break out and then they blow up the whole world, and then we can't actually fucking live on this planet anymore, like because it's so toxic from the radiation of nuclear waste that there's nowhere to reincarnate anymore because it's fucked.
Yeah.
You know, we'd just be floating around in like in the astral plane. They're like stuck there because you can't get in a body because there's no bodies left on Earth. Or we go to the next sewer dump of a planet like down the road on the galaxy. You know. So anyway, so the thing is, it's like, it sounds too good to be true. So they give you this technique where you can break the reincarnation cycle and you can like come out of your misery, right?
Yeah.
So like I'm thinking like, oh my God, I've missed the whole point the first time. This is actually what I've wanted my whole life. Like, for fuck's sakes, I had to do 2 of these to realize this. Okay. But then it's so funny in the course they're like, yeah, but this is the one small tiny step, and there's a lot more steps, and it could take like thousands of more reincarnations. So he's like, okay, well, you got to meditate like an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening.
Yeah. But
you might even not crack it this lifetime. So I'm thinking, fuck it, you're going to do this like every day of your life for like another 1,000 reincarnations. So it was so exciting, but then it was so like, it was like kind of like a anticlimax.
Okay, so let's run through a day. So you rock up there, you had your phone in. I'm assuming it's out in the bush.
Yeah, it's out in Worcester in the mountains. This is beautiful. Really.
So then they allocate you a cabin. They say, okay, this is where you're going to be staying. They tell you that the breakfast is at 5, lunch is at 12, and dinner's at 6. And then they say to you, okay, from this moment on, you can't talk to anybody. Okay.
Yeah.
So then, but what about, can you talk to yourself, or is it just silence, complete silence?
Yeah, complete silence. Yes, that'd be fucking weird if you just said this guy walking around talking to himself.
Because I talk.
Yeah, no talking to squirrels, no talking to
nothing. Eh?
You just silence. Yeah.
Right.
This is the
how did you find that? How did you find?
Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. It's so amazing.
Find it difficult?
Yeah, no, not at all. Jesus, it's like it's second nature. You know, I'm a bit of an introvert, so it's like, and also, I mean, you know, to try and think of small talk and like having to, you know, in everyday life of, you know, it's exhausting. But so you get back to like the second time I went around, because I was so gung-ho that first time, and I did like 10 hours on that mat, 10 days. The second time I brought a chair, and I also relaxed a lot more. Like I wasn't like so insane about like I gotta, like I would go and meditate in my room, and I'd sit on the chair so my back and my legs wouldn't fall apart, and that helped a lot, because I think the pain, there's a distraction. Even though they say in the course that the pain is like your sankharas. There's a thing called sankhara. It means your like like things that you crave or you hate. They like build in your body. And then when you get to them, they start hurting. So it's like almost like emotions trapped in your body, and it causes pain. So they say it's that, but I'm like, no, it's not. It's just my legs are not used to sitting like this in this position. My tendons are stretching. My bones are like fucking twisted. It's that. It's not sankaras. It's not like I've got a trapped fucking my mother screaming at me and a child is in my knee there. It's because my knee's not used to being like that for 10 hours a day. Like, come on, like really, like it must bring it like. Science meets like mysticism. It's like this is the science. I'll bring a doctor. I'll show you. So the chair. So definitely bring a chair. I brought a chair so that it took my mind off the pain so much, and I felt I got like a lot more out of the meditations. And also like I wasn't so strict on myself. Like I didn't do the 10 hours every day. Now and then I'll just sit outside in the sun and just do a bit of sunbathing. I mean, you're not allowed to take. Oh yeah, another funny thing is you're not allowed to wear. You're not allowed to wear shorts, right? That are like above your knees. So like I'm walking down the one day and I've got these shorts on, but I thought they were below my knees. And this guy's like comes up to me, like the head guy, and he's like, you can't wear those shorts. And I'm like, why? And he's like, because they're not low enough over your knees. I'm like, what? So I'm just thinking like, what? And I'm like, what? And he's like, the girls. He's like, the girls can see. Look, they're like there on this. And I'm just thinking like, what girl? I've never known anybody that's into knees. Like, I mean, do you think girls are like, oh my God, those are some mighty fine knees. Oh, look at that guy's knees. Like, I've heard of guys like, or people that are into feet. Like,
yeah.
But are you allowed to? But you have to go into the hall barefoot. But you got to cover up your knees. I've never heard of a guy, or a woman having a knee fetish. But like a toe fetish I've heard of. But we can go around barefoot like in the hall. But you got to cover your knees up.
Yeah.
God forbid, like some girls like drooling in the corner there, like Jesus. Cross-legged there and the knees sticking out. Get a little bit of that knee.
That is silly. That is a bit silly.
But so yeah, I took it a bit more easy this time, and it was a way more beneficial because I think I let go a bit more. And it was so funny when I came out that first time, I was like so adamant. I was like, geez, everybody needs to do this once in their life. But after the second time, I'm like, no, you have to do it the second time. Because it's also in the discourse in the evenings where they talk about what you're doing there and what you're learning and the whole philosophy about it. I actually like missed a whole lot of it the first time because I was just so adamant on like bursting through into the cosmic and fucking talking to God or something that I kind of just was like brushing over everything they were telling me. So yeah.
Okay.
Now the work starts.
But I thought they're not supposed to be talking. There's not supposed to be any talking. So is
no,
that
just
a certain hour you can talk or?
No, so sorry. So you were trying to ask about the schedule. So you get woken up at 4. Like there's a bell at 4. A guy like comes around ringing a bell. Then there's a gong every like. So then you start meditating. Then there's there's like 2 hours meditation or whatever. You can have a break in the middle of it. Then there's a gong. You go to breakfast. Then after the gong, you have like a rest period after breakfast for like an hour. Then you start meditating again, and every time there's something to do, there's a gong going off, and then you just follow the herd to the hall or wherever, to lunch, or I mean, it's just the hall, lunch in your room, really, the dining room. You wash your own plates and bowls. It's a vegetarian diet, and then in the evening, you do your last meditation. Then they have a discourse. They call it a discourse where there's the guy that brought because apparently, like, the actual technique of Vipassana got lost because it got diluted over the years. But there was one lineage that from Burma, where actually Buddha taught it. There was one lineage that carried on strong through generations that passed on. And this one guy got it, and he's made it, like, accessible to the whole world. And he actually died, like, about 10 years ago. But he brought it back to the world. And there was a prophecy that it would come back 2,500 years from when Buddha died. So it's supposed to be like now, and it actually did, because this Vipassana thing's blown up. There's a center in every country, and it's quite popular. They always there's a 10-day meditation twice a month. They also do a 20-day meditation, a 30-day, and a 45-day. I mean, Buddha sat under that tree for 40 days and 40 nights, apparently, but I don't know. I think they just throw that number on everything, because everything in the Bible is 40 days, 40 nights.
There's it for 40 days and 40 nights.
Yeah, so I think when they didn't really calculate, they're like, oh, fuck, I don't know. Was he there for 10 or was he there for 60? 40. He was there for 40. So apparently 40. So I don't know. I mean, there's people going to those 45-day ones. I don't know how many people have come out enlightened, because I don't see anybody.
No, but let me ask you a question, Yana. So they say to you, okay, so the minimum is 10 days.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you've gone and you sat, so you're not fasting, you're actually meditating. You're meditating 3 hours a day. And then when you leave, you're supposed to continue with that type of mentality, meditating at least 2 hours a day. But when today's world, it's very difficult to get to that, because you've got activities that are happening all the time. We're in a very fast-paced world. We're not living anymore in the days where you're herding sheep and you're kind of on your own out in the bush, and you've got all the time in the world to do all that kind of stuff. Now it's like difficult, because to even set aside 4 days, like, so I thought, okay, I'm going to support you. I'm going to do a 4-day. I thought you were fasting, so I did a 4-day dry fast. So not a dry fast.
A dry fast?
So, not a dry
Oh,
fast, a wet fast. Yeah. So I had water
okay.
and black coffee in between, but I didn't eat for 4 days. And
Nice, well done.
I thought it was weird though, because those, you can do it while you're at work. I mean, you can do it as a normal part of your course of your day. You know what I mean? It's not like, shit, I have to go do a retreat for this, because this is going to be stressful. I think maybe because I do, what do you call it, where I fast every day, intermittent fasting.
Yeah, you do
every day.
intermittent
So
fasting. Yeah.
for me, it was actually pretty easy. But I found after the second day that your mind starts thinking a lot more profoundly. It starts to think about profound questions, and it starts searching more for God, and it starts searching more for things that are happening in your life.
Yeah, because it thinks you're dying.
No, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It kind of it changes the way you think. It's weird. And then I was chatting to one of the guys, because he's a Shembe. You know, he belongs to that the Shembe group.
Yeah.
And I said, have you ever fasted? He said, yeah, they fast like we do, like with Ramadan or whatever. He says they do that. I said, yeah, but that still means you're eating at night and early in the morning.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think
have you
that's
fasted like completely?
Yeah, I think that thing's so funny when they say I'm fasting. It's like, well, would you eat? You eat in the evenings?
Yeah, exactly.
To me, it's not fasting either.
Yeah. So he said to me, no, he never has. I said, okay, try it. Because I told him I was doing 4 days. He said, wow, geez, I said, but I'll try 2. I said, don't try 2, try 1. Just do 1 day, dude. He struggled. He freaking struggled for 1 day.
Yeah.
He struggled. And I realized, I'm not trying to blow smoke or anything, but I realized that with the intermittent fasting and the things that we do, like this podcast, and the things that we're searching for, and and your 7 days and 4 days and 6 days and 8 days of fasting, and there is a benefit, and we actually get used to that kind of stuff. And I realized then that there's a lot of people that are so far behind, and it's not a bad thing, but I've just said they're so far behind in where they should be with regards to awakening, and they might think they're religious people, and they believe in God, and this is they're deacons or whatever, but spiritually they're not there. They're making sense. They're not
just talking the talk, walking the walk.
Yeah, it's just, I just realized that there's so much more to than just talking about it. I can talk forever about God and whatever, and people will listen and whatever. But if you don't actually do the stuff yourself,
you
can't really speak with that experience. You can't,
because the thing,
this is really what you need to do.
Yeah, because I mean, that's in the Bible. I mean, that's the only kind of. I mean, what they like Buddhism and Hinduism, they always give you like techniques to try and, purify your mind, clear your mind, get closer to God. There's all these like yoga techniques and stuff like that. But in like the Bible, it's just prayer and fasting. That's the only 2 things they give you.
But even that, I mean, even if you fast properly, so say like you do, like what I did now, you do a 4-day wet fast. Even just that alone changes your mind profoundly. It makes you think I mean, I was talking to the infinite, the creator, whatever, for those 4 days, but like constantly. I would be in my car and I'd be talking. I'd get to work and then I'd go onto the internet and I'd start researching Kabbalah, and I'd start doing a little bit of like investigation into the Kabbalah, then to the Zohar, then to this and then to that. You know, so I was very, it was very, it made me want to do that stuff in those 4 days. But then as soon as the 4 days ended, it kind of almost pulled back, and I went, it took me back.
You went into your sankharas, into your cravings, back to your cravings.
Stuff. Yeah, so it was weird how that happened, but it was actually pretty cool. I was chatting to a friend about psychometry at work, and he wanted to know what the hell is that. I said, it's like kind of when you touch objects and you kind of pick up impressions of the past, maybe the past owners, or you know, something to do with the past of that object. He said, "Oh, okay."
Or like whatever's energy is imbued into that rock,
so
or the object.
The next day, he calls me up to his desk and says, "Hey, I've got something for you. Try and see what you can read." So he gives me this packet. Okay. So I said, "Okay, there's something inside this." I said, "Okay, cool." I said, "But I'm not going to open it yet. I'll do it when I get home tonight." I said, "Okay, cool." So when I got home, I sat in my meditation spot. I took these things out. The impressions that I got were like strong. So this was the one thing. It's like I don't know if you can see it there.
It looks like it looks like a petrified axe, like a blade.
Yeah, correct. So like on the one side here, this side here, it is very sharp.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there is a baby one, the same.
Okay, well that one just looks like a stone.
But on this here, it's serrated. On the edge here, it's actually serrated. See that? Okay.
Yeah.
So as soon as I touched this thing, I got these images, and I said to him, "Okay, so before I told you what I saw, I got the image of almost like a bushman." Okay.
Yeah.
He had this thing in his hand, and he was cracking stones with the one side, this side. So he was holding it like that.
Oh, yeah.
Hitting stones. It was hitting something. Okay. And he did take that thing out, and he did use this piece here to sharpen. So he was making arrowheads. What I saw.
Yeah, I mean, didn't you just look at the rock and just think, oh, well, this maybe is what it looks like.
This looks like it broke off. That just looked like it broke off. So, and I saw like grass, like, you know, like a bushman type thing. The grass about this high, there were small little trees. And I said, there's like I don't know how this works, because I don't remember Bushmen living in huts, but there is like a mud hut round with grass on the roof.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's some sort of buck. I drew it for him. There's like the one with the black stripe on the side. It's like white underneath and tan on the top.
So Apollo.
Maybe. So anyway, I took it back to him, and I said, "Okay," because he didn't tell me where he got it from. He just said, "Just check to see what this was." So I told him that, and he laughed. He said, "Okay." So he got it from PMB. There is a game reserve in PMB near Howick Falls.
Yeah.
Okay. And they found it on the path there in the thing. There are buck there, exactly like I described. He said the grass and stuff, yes, it's a very savanna type area. And the people that lived there prior to the Zulus, he mentioned a name, but I can't remember what the name was. And then in the picture that he showed me where they stayed was the round mud hut with the grass roofs. So it had the what do you call that? The rondavels, the modern day rondavels, but they had the grass huts, the grass roofs on the top, like the normal, what is that stuff called?
Yeah, like the, yeah, wow, okay, yeah. Amazing, well done.
So, but it was very similar to remote viewing, like, so it was weird. It was like, as soon as I touched it, the images popped into mine. I just saw these, like a video playing in the head.
Yeah, sure.
Exactly the same as what happens when we do remote viewing. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I suppose it's all like kind of the same thing anyway. Yeah, just trying to get information from that.
He was actually very impressed. He was like, "Hey, look, it's okay."
Okay, cool, man. Shit, you
That was
should
my
do it more. I
first
think
psychometry
I think you got a talent there. Gee, soon you're going to be working for the police, like sniffing, touching people's underwear to find the killer of the fucking victim.
Dude, saying
Yeah.
that, I've bought a pendulum from Timu.
Okay, most spiritual shop on the planet.
Well, that's how I got my mat from. But so I thought, okay, it's actually quite cool because it's made of that blue stone, that turquoise.
Yeah.
And it's got some nice intricate design. So I thought, okay, well, let me give this a bash because I've got one already. But I thought, let me just give it a bash. And I held this thing up, dead still. Okay. And then I started imagining this thing swirling anti-clockwise. I didn't move my hand. My hand was dead still. And it still started moving. But then it started going longer and longer and longer. Like heavy.
Yeah, but that's the thing with that thing is that you can influence it with your mind. So that's why
I
it's so.
stopped it. I said, okay, stop. I pictured it stopping. That it's got to a point where it was doing this. I said, okay, go the other way, and then it started going the other way. I was like, fuck, that is actually cool.
Dude, you must try this.
So cool.
You must try and put like a piece of tin foil, like fold it into it, like so it makes like a tent roof kind of thing. Yeah. And you put it on a pin. You put it on a pin, and you put a glass vase or something over the top of it. So put the pin on the desk so it's sticking up. They put the little tinfoil, like little A-frame kind of thing on it, and put the vase over it so that no wind interferes with it, so your breath can't blow it, anything, and then you just try and turn it with your mind.
Okay, I'll give it a bash. But I was
quite amazing.
I was like, but even if you're blowing it, so like it's going, you're like, okay,
yeah,
it's gonna go out to the kind of this way because you're blowing it and it's coming back to you, blowing and coming back to you. That wouldn't turn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not going to give it a, and I'm not like swirling my hand. My hand is like, fuck. I actually made a point of like holding my hand like dead still.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing because the pendulum, it's because, you're supposed to ask it questions and then just see it like yes or no questions and it'll swing which way or whatever. But the thing is that you can influence it with your mind. So when you ask it a question, you got to be so like neutral. Yeah. It's so hard because I've tried it as well, like, and it's just so hard to not be biased and like want an outcome. So now I'm like trying to like force myself to not keep the outcome I want in my head to influence, because I know I'm going to influence this thing now because I want it to turn yes, So yeah, that's always tricky. That's why I don't trust those things so much, Okay. Because you can, but that's amazing that you did that. You should do the tinfoil one now. I want to see if you can do the tinfoil one, and you because I still think your body's still like kind of involved in it somehow, even though you
tinfoil one, your energies. Maybe.
No, but the tinfoil one's like completely, because that thing's on a desk. You got a glass thing over it, so there's nothing, no wind, nothing can touch it. I even put press stick around the bottom. Yeah. And you can even put 2 in there. So you can try and just mimic because the one time I did that, and I don't know what it was, but like I put the thing over it, and the tinfoil just started turning and turning and turning. And I went away and I came back, and this thing was just turning, and it turned like that for like the whole day. And I was thinking, what the fuck? And I put press stick underneath it, so there was nothing. And I was thinking, why is this thing fucking turning? Like, how's it? Like, is it the heat of the outside, like, influencing the heat of the air inside, and then it causes like, because that thing was just turning all the fucking time. I wasn't even trying to turn it. Yeah. So then if you put 2 in, because I've seen people put 2 in, so then like if you're staring at the one and you're trying to turn it with your mind, and if that one turns and the other one stands still, then okay, I'm definitely affecting the one. Okay. So it's quite a cool experiment. But talking about like what experiences, like on this meditation thing, there was like one interesting experience, right? But the thing is, in the evenings I was trying to do that astral travel like technique, the one from Robert Monroe's like book.
The Institute. So you're listening to it?
No. You can't take any headphones or cell phone or anything. I was just doing the one where you stare the point in front of you, then a little bit further into the roof, then you pull it over your head. Yeah. So I was doing that one, and I think also from all the meditating every day, like my dreams were really enhanced, and it's well actually, okay, wait, sorry, let me look back up a bit. Okay, You know, we did the podcast with Cindy, and I said, yeah, I think like all my psychic abilities that I had, like that I started with, that got me so excited about the stuff, and I've been trying to do it ever since. And I went and got initiated by Sadhguru and Shambhavi Mudra Kriya, and I think that he cut it off and stopped all of that stuff because he says that he's going to firewall the cult or whatever. So she said, okay, well, you maybe should go see someone. You should go see. Remember, we had that show, like to remove all your blockages and your fucking all of this stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. And then after the show, I contacted her. I said, okay, well, who must I go see? He's just like this amazing energy healer that you're gonna recommend. So she said it's Mark Bind. Remember, we had Mark Bind on the show, and also I've interviewed him for documentary. I'm like, oh, I know Mark Bind, and I've actually had a session with him before, but yeah, I'll go have another one, right? So I was busy doing during that time. So for the past few months, I've been trying to do that astral travel thing, the one from the main one from Robert Monroe's book. The reason why I was doing it again was because we interviewed 2 people on the show, and they said that they had success with that one.
Yeah.
Remember, I can't remember the 2 people's name, but so I was like, and I've tried all of them, and I thought, okay, well, I haven't given that one a go. I'm going to give that one a go. So I'm busy doing this technique, and I get like such a vivid dream of like I'm in this room where they're about to do the ceremony, like an occult ceremony, and I thought it had to do something with Freemasonry, and I couldn't really tell what it was, but it was an occult ceremony of some kind. But they said to me like I had to wait outside because I wasn't like I'm not. I can't be into the room right now, so I got to wait outside. But for some reason, I had to have my shirt off, or I had to be naked. I can't remember now, but I was outside, and I was thinking, "Fuck!" But I want to be a part of this thing. So then I walked in the door, and then all of this like crazy shit had happened. Like all of this like energy started going on in the room, and like everybody started getting freaked out because I'd ruined something. Like I was like, "Oh fuck!" Like, and I even started freaking out because I was like, "Oh my god!" Like. I've messed it all up. What's going on? Like everything's going wrong. Everything was going so crazy. So then this one woman ran up to me with this. It looked like a candlestick holder. I don't know what it was, but she shoved it in my face to like stop it, to stop whatever I'd sparked off or whatever was going on. And she shoved it in my face, and then I kind of went into this like oblivion, and I slowly like woke up in my room, but I was so confused because it was so real. And when I started coming into the room, it was so disorientating because I didn't know where I was, what was going on, and like how it was almost like I came out of oblivion and I came into this new existence. And I can't tell you how disorientated I was. It was so weird. I've never had that experience ever in my life. It was so fucking weird. It was almost like being on like some kind of acid trip, and you come straight into like reality again, or like coming out of I can't even explain it. It was so strange. And I even had a question if I was in the real reality or not. But anyway, so then I go to Mark Bind, right, to get myself cleared or whatever. And this was before the Vipassana thing, because I thought I want to go and be cleared when I go do the meditation. So I'm in the session with him, and he's like looking at me, and he's looking at my energy fields and whatever, and he goes, "Yeah, no, you've got a lot of trauma from you were a human sacrifice in one of your past lives." And I was like, fuck off. You don't actually understand the fucking dream I had the other night. That's really weird. What a coincidence. You brought that up. So, but then, I don't know, he did all the stuff, and like, I don't know, it's a funny thing because I go to so many of these people and I can never really feel like any kind of
difference,
amazing effect afterwards or what actually even happened. So anyway, I mean, not to people, Mark Barney, he's done amazing work. A lot of people have like, you know, if he's one of the top healers in our country, and I've heard some amazing success stories. So it's nothing. It's just like, I don't know. I've gone to many of these people, and it never really feels like it does much for me. But so that was interesting. So then anyway, then I'm on this Vipassana thing, and I'm doing the technique again to try and have the out of body experience, and I have another really vivid dream, like so vivid. I'm like this gangster, but it's like modern day. There's casinos and stuff. But I'm like a clumsy gangster. I'm not like I put my gun like really badly in my pocket and it's loaded, and I'm kind of like, geez, I better not shoot my leg off, but like I don't really care. But It's like it's like, so I'm like a kind of a idiot, you know. But I have these two other like cronies like that are in my, you know,
Gang.
the thing that I'm in this casino. But like, I don't know what I did or whatever, but they were pissed off with me, and they found me, and they threw like 6 packs of beers, like a whole bunch. They covered me in like so many 6 packs of beer, and then they shot me in the throat. And when I got shot in the throat, I woke up, Lee, and there was like so much like pressure on my throat here. Like I've also never experienced it ever in my life before. Like all this tingling sensation on my throat and this extreme pressure. Like it happened. It was so weird. And I got up and I was like, it was like, I was such in shock, and I was like, oh my gosh, my throat was all weird. So that was very interesting. So maybe, and then I thought about Googling. I actually should, because I actually forgot about it until I'm speaking to you now. I should actually go Google if there was some gangster that got shot in the throat and covered in booze.
Maybe you should actually go look and tell me. Let me know next time we do the thing.
Yeah. But anyway, so that was the interesting experiences I had in the last 2 weeks.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. And then, so our last little topic that we're going to chat about is Atlas 3I.
Oh yeah, geez, what happened to that? It already passed. It already passed Earth, and what?
I don't know. It's been kind of it's past Earth, and it's currently going around the sun, I think, as far as I remember. But
I thought because it was funny, because I was in the meditation thing when it was going between Mars and Earth.
Yeah.
Or like just, and I was thinking, geez, because there was all those like people saying that it might actually hit Mars, and if they get the calculations wrong, it might actually hit Mars, or could it? So I was just waiting there, and I was thinking, geez, I could imagine if I just see this thing in the sky and it hits Earth, and we all in this meditation center, and like there's the apocalypse, and we all like stuck here, and we actually don't even know that like all these people are dying. And then I got out of there, and I was so excited to see what the news was. And then old RV Loeb, because we also had him on the show in the beginning, and he was like, yeah, it went past that camera, the closest we could have actually got a picture. It went past that Mars camera, and they got a picture of it, and it was all this excitement. But then NASA would not release it for like 8 days afterwards, because I got out of the meditation thing, and RV Loeb's like, yeah, NASA still hasn't released it, and there's all these conspiracies. Why are they taking 8 days to like release it? And he's like, no, he thinks it's just incompetence. And it's like, well, I mean, like NASA, I mean, how incompetent are they? I mean, just to fucking see a picture from them wrong. So what happened there? Did you see what happened? Why didn't they?
I didn't, because it's gone kind of silent, man. Look, every Tom, Dick, and Harry and fucking YouTubers talking about 3i Atlas.
Yeah, because RV Loeb was, I mean, it was showing some really interesting characteristics where natural things don't show that characteristics. That's why it was so exciting. And then RV Loeb is like, it's 8 days later, NASA has not released the picture. And I'm just thinking, well, if they were covering something up, that's probably the most stupidest way to be inconspicuous and like wait 8 days. I mean, if they want to hide something, then just immediately just fucking make an AI or like some picture of something and just send it out to the public and say like, that's what we found, like the day afterwards, instead of like, wow. I mean, if they're really hiding something, to wait 8 days, I mean, it just makes it look like they're hiding something. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So like, if they don't want it to look like that,
to hide it.
And I mean, if they would have had things ready to go out if it was something really weird, like a spacecraft or something. But what was the other thing that? Oh yeah, but because it's also been the second largest interstellar thing that's come through our galaxy that they've captured on the scientific systems. But I'm thinking, okay, well, it's 2 now.
Yeah.
So I mean, Bibu's predicting that the world's going to get hit by meteorites in 2029. That's like the big D-Day, because we're going through the center of the Taurid meteor stream then.
Okay.
And we only go through the center like every, 12,000 years. And that's when the Kali Yuga's end, with these calamities of like asteroids hitting us. So I'm just thinking like, now there's 2 coming through. I mean, surely there's going to be more. I mean, like there's the statistical thing. Like if 1 comes through, another one may never come through again. But if 2 come through, then there's a good possibility of 3 or even more coming through. So like, what's next? I mean, that's the second one. Then what? Then the next few months there's a third and a fourth and a fifth and a sixth, and then by the 2029 we like dodging fucking these things left, right, and center.
Well, I was checking on Facebook. Like when you kind of subscribe and you listening to whatever it is that you're listening to, and then to the right there's always these little other videos. And there was this one, I didn't click onto it, but it said, massive world change, November 2025. And I'm thinking, like, they've been saying massive world change since 2000 Y2K. So,
I know.
It's like,
But it's so,
there's something new.
I know, but it's so interesting because I'm actually reading, I actually reading Graham Hancock wrote this amazing book about the Ark of the Covenant, like his search for it. It's fucking amazing, dude. I've been reading that.
What's it
but
called?
before that, it's called The Sign and the Seal.
Yeah, I've got it.
Jeez, you must read that. This is incredible. So, and then also Richard Stanley's thing about the Holy Grail. Oh, dude, you gotta get into that. It's amazing. I wish we could just interview him on the show. But anyway, so also Richard Stanley's the Grail, Otto Rahn's book, the Grail Hunter, whatever. But they were going on about in the when in the 1920s. That's when the big occult scene broke loose in France, right? With all like Madame Blavatsky and the Theosophic Society and
it was a late 1800s into the early 1900s.
Rudolf Steiner, like all of these big occultists were alive there, and they're all together, and they were saying it's Shambhala, like the change is going to happen. The end of the Kali Yuga is here. Our consciousness is going to change, and they were all fucking going on about it there and blowing it up. And now we're still going on about it. I mean, it's like it's turned into the new age group all going on about that. But it's like, geez, we've been going on from the 1920s. What did you say? How many? It's like 100 years now. So maybe that's not a long time. Maybe they still change. I don't know. But it just seems like, when is it?
Yeah, it's always like every year. It's like next year, or next month. I don't know. Clickbait. Anyway. Cool, bud. Awesome.
So that's...
Thank you for your time. Thank you, everybody, for listening today. We'll chat to you guys later. Well, thanks, buddy. Much appreciated.
Okay. Cool. Cheers, bro.